It's day 2 of the reptile show, and I'm gonna get over my fear of spiders. Is it by holding a tarantula? No, I'm not crazy. I'm gonna buy a jumping spider. Bet you didn't see that coming. All right, here we go into this reptile show, you guys. The place is busy already, but here's my plan. I'm doing, I think, 4 reptile shows in the next 2 months, and there are 3 different snakes that I'm specifically looking for. So I may end up getting something at this reptile show if they have one of these animals that I'm looking for. Now, I think, here's my guess. This is not one of the biggest reptile shows in the world. It's not small, but it's also not super big. So the likelihood of them having these specific snakes that I'm looking for is relatively low, except that there's a massive variety, I think, at this show. I think we're gonna find a ton of different stuff, including a lot of stuff that I can't have in California, but there's gonna be a number of snakes. So let's see what I can find. We're gonna talk to some of my friends that I've already seen are here and see what they've brought to the show. And we'll see what we got at this reptile show. As I suspected, there's a massive amount of variety here in a relatively small footprint compared to like the Pomona show, which is what I'm used to. You know, I love seeing ball pythons, but if I wanted to see a bunch of ball pythons, I would have stayed in the green room. And here they have some ball pythons, but they also have all kinds of other stuff. I'm looking at hognose snakes and boas and some albino iguanas. I just mentioned 2 very common things I realized. Hognose snakes and boas, they have those, but there's a Woma python over here. There's all kinds of stuff that you don't necessarily see at every reptile show. I'll show you some of those things right now. I found Riley's Reptiles, you guys. This is my buddy Riley. Hey, Riley.
How we doing, Bob?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Can't complain. I'm happy to be out here.
What did you bring? It's definitely a smaller setup than what I see you with at Pomona.
Yeah, I managed to fit everything in that I had available, ready to rock. It's the majority of the popwin carpets that I've got ready, a lot of those citrus tigers, and a few odds and ends. But yeah, a lot of my bread and butter, the popwin carpets.
Cool. I have a brilliant idea. Why don't I come over to your house and let's talk more about carpet pythons? Like, maybe in next week's video? Maybe? Hint, hint?
I think we could do that.
I'm not sure if it's next week's video. I may have lied about that, but it's soon.
Been filming some cool stuff already?
Yes. There's so much variety here. It's really cool, yeah.
Axolotls, hedgehogs.
I know. So many things that I can't bring over the border.
Right.
Yeah. So Lane Labs is here. These guys show up to all these reptile shows around the region because they supply more than just reptile keepers. They're supplying zoos and raptor people. Anybody that has animals that eats frozen rodents, Lane Labs supplies. So they're here. It's always good to see these guys. They have sea urchins here. Look at I'm kidding. You don't want to pull a sea urchin out of a tank. This is a hedgehog. And I can't have hedgehogs in California, but if I lived in Nevada or if I lived in Washington, because I used to have one when I lived in Washington. They're so cute. They're little spiky guys. They don't feel great. It's kind of like holding a mild cactus. I don't even know where his face is at this point. He's just a little spike ball, and I love him. axolotls in here. Another thing that I can't have in California, but they're so weird and cool. And I heard somewhere that they're coming back in the wild. They were effectively extinct, I guess, in this little range that they live in Mexico. And now apparently they're coming back. But they're definitely here as pets because they're massively popular. And in most places in the US, you can have them. I just can't in California. Right down here is a very large Burmese python. Now here's the thing. If you just act like you belong, you just act like you're okay, it's no big deal, you just sort of act like it's your snake, it's not that big of a deal. You can just take the big snake. Like nobody's questioning me right now. I'm acting confident, no big deal. And now I've got a new snake. There we go, I'll see you guys. The big one though, right? It's a big python. Oh, a real sweet one too. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. You guys might be surprised to learn that I failed in my attempt to shoplift the giant berm. That's a boy, by the way. This is a girl that they're raising up. This is a albino, what'd you say? Albino ivory. I don't know Burmese morphs. It's an albino ivory. Such sweet snakes though. You know, I'm probably never gonna have a berm, but if you want a big snake that's such a sweetheart, you can't go wrong with a Burmese python. This snake has a little puppy dog face.
And he's also clowning around at all our shows. You see he's got a little clown face right there too.
Oh my gosh.
And not to mention the eyes are like almost like a retic, and I know you get down with the retic stuff. We love that new content with the snake wall. That was too cool.
Oh yeah, you like that? Here's the thing. I'm not always a big hats on snakes guy, but this boa just needs a cowboy hat. I feel like this totally works with him.
Howdy.
Yeah, it's great. Hi there. We're going to do the Patreon scroll really quick. You're in Maya's dusty cage right now, her desert-themed bioactive cage. We'll see what she does to this camera, but we're going to scroll the Patreon supporters. These are the folks who support the channel on patreon.com/greenroompythons. And I thought while we did this, I would tell you about the snakes that I got at reptile shows. There's 4 of them here in the green room that came from reptile shows. One of them is the snake that we're watching right now. Maya came from the Pomona show. And actually her future boyfriend, Banjo, sort of technically came from a reptile show. My friend Mike showed me a picture of Banjo at a reptile show, and then I got him a week later. But actual snakes that came from shows are Maya, Dr. Harry Vanderspiegel, my house snake, came from a reptile show. Who else? Stella came from a reptile show. I got Stella at a show. And there's one more. Oh, Maya's getting so close to knocking this camera over. Who am I? Oh, of course. The most notorious snake that came from a reptile show, actually the US auction after the show, was Handsome Dan. Many of you know, he was sort of an accidental purchase. Oh no, Maya's gonna knock out over this camera. All right, thanks to the Horde of Keepers over on Patreon, really appreciate them. And thanks to our channel sponsors, Black Box Cages, Lane Labs, and the Royals Project. Really appreciate them. Try to support them if you can. And let's get back to the reptile show. Zach from Scales. You always have the brightest carpet pythons and rainbow boas, really cool stuff. And this is one of the brightest carpet pythons I've seen.
Yeah, I appreciate that. This is Dandy. She is a Gamma Line Diamond Jungle Jaguar carpet python.
So that's a cross between a diamond and a jungle.
Yeah, it's actually only one genetic morph in there, which is the Jaguar gene, and that ultimately gives a lot of that reduced pattern yellow,
right?
Which you can kind of see here. She's got that Under Armour on her head, which is pretty cool. So we're sponsored by them.
Oh,
I wish we were.
Totally has.
But yeah, she is breeding right now with, well, not right this very second, but she is actively breeding this month with a really high yellow male. So we're hoping to get some babies finally from her. But she's only actually 4 years old, believe it or not.
Wow, she's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. One of my absolute favorite snakes is this one right here from our high red orange line. You can tell the crazy color. Again, maybe, yeah, you're getting it on your other phone, hopefully.
Yeah, I got it.
But just look at that hue. The blue is insane, and the color is just wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we actually here at the show, we have some of the babies from our high orange line and some from our regular orange line. But people don't realize that these things color up with time, and no one is patient. But when you're looking at picking carpet pythons or rainbow boas, listen to the breeder. Hopefully, if you get a good breeder, and sometimes they take time, a year even, before they start to really pop.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for showing us that.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Appreciate
checking
it.
us out.
All right, man. I'm getting out a snake that I've never held before. These are becoming sort of popular because they're so weird and interesting. I don't think I recommend them as pets though. This little wet noodle is an elephant trunk snake, and you've probably seen them before because, content creators are doing videos on these because they're so weird. They live in the water and they feel, I thought it was gonna feel slimy. It doesn't feel slimy, but it does definitely have rough skin, almost like little tiny keeled scales, but they're not keeled. It's just very rough skin. Super weird. Obviously, not an easy animal to keep because they get big and they live in the water. So you gotta have them in a massive water area, you know? I'm putting him back in his water. There he is, that's where he lives. Really weird. If you can keep an elephant trunk snake appropriately, good on ya. We're doing one more while I'm sitting here. Check this out. All right, look at this guy. This is an Amazon fringe leaf frog, which is, they're from Peru, from what I understand. And, I'm not a big amphibian frog person, so I don't know frogs very well, but this is, from what I was told, pretty rare, very expensive. On its box, it says $1,250, and you go, wow, that's a lot of money for a frog, but it's for the pair. It's for the pair. So is that still expensive for you? I don't know. It is for me. But look how freaking cool this frog is. I mean, look at these. I'm going to try to get him to open his feet a little bit so you can see. Look at that. How cool is that? Pretty awesome frog. You know who I count on to have stuff that I'm looking for sometimes is the reptile shop. But they don't have any of the 3 snakes that I'm looking for. But you know what? I don't think the show has these snakes, even though they have everything else. But I'm gonna be at the Anaheim Reptile Show. I'm gonna be at the Sacramento Reptile Show, I think, this year. And I'm gonna be at Tinley this year. If you're gonna be at Tinley, look for me. It's gonna be my first trip to the Tinley Reptile Show. I'm excited about it. But with all those shows coming up, I should be able to find what I'm looking for. Hopefully, we'll see. One thing you get to do sometimes at the Vegas show is hold a freaking toucan. It's a toucan. Come on. When they're this size, they cause less shenanigans than when they're bigger. So if you can get a retic to stay this size, there will be less shenanigans at your house. That's my recommendation. I don't know how that's done. You'd have to meet a wizard or something because they're never gonna stay this size. I just met Daniel, and Daniel's showing me a picture of his blood python. Can we see it on the, just show, yeah, there you go. The blood python right there. And tell me the name of the blood python.
The blood python is named after Eric the Murderer.
Eric the Murderer is the blood python's name. So there's now 2 snakes in the world named Eric the Murderer, and one of them is a real snake. So look, as many of you know, I'm kind of arachnophobic, but as it turns out, I'm not as scared of jumping spiders as I am of other more terrible arachnids. And the fine folks over at Cozy Cobwebs are great salesmen, and they have little pre-prepared houses for their jumping spiders. So I'm gonna go home with a jumping spider. We have Zoe here, and she's gonna help me pick out a spider. We had one that you had an idea of one that I maybe should have. Which show me which one that is again.
So this is Candy. She is a female Phidippus regius or regal jumping spider. She's an Apalachicola variant or locality. So she will get bigger and darker than your typical regal will.
When you say bigger than my hand?
No, not
Great.
No, about this big, about the size of a quarter.
Okay, and to your knowledge, she's never like put anybody in the hospital before.
No, I have handled literally thousands of spiders by this point, even nesting moms, and I have never been bit.
Awesome. I'm actually not worried about a bite from these guys. This is the only spider that I'm kind of not afraid of. So I think we're gonna be okay. All right, I like it. Can I? Where's your little magnifying glass thing? You gotta, because they're so tiny. It's such a tiny spider.
Her fangs are at the end. And then the things in front are the pedipalps, and they don't have eyelids, so they use their pedipalps to clean their eyes like little windshield wipers.
Oh my gosh, she's got windshield wipers.
She does.
So crazy.
And I said, see, she's really well behaved, super good with people.
So that's the one, that's what I'm getting. I'm pretty excited about it. Is it gonna get me over my fear of spiders? I don't think so. But maybe, we'll see. Because I own a cute little jumping spider, am I gonna no longer be afraid of horrible tarantulas? Probably not. Or those things that I run into in the Amazon jungle that are harmless, by the way, but they look absolutely terrifying. I think I'm still gonna be afraid of those. But I like this little spider. What a great show this is. I can't believe I bought a spider. Thanks for watching. See you next week.